Hello, dear light beings. Welcome to May 2023. I know many of you are still tired, and I know that many of you are waiting for the wave to come onto your calm sea to carry you forward. And that's okay, because it is difficult to deal with whatever is going on in the outside world. It is difficult to recognize and see through the clouds that are being presented to us as truth, knowing they're not, and constantly identifying new aspects of this matrix that we don't agree with and that we see as falsities. But on the other hand, we can completely lose self-control, meaning lose the control over our creative power in our lives if we keep focusing on those aspects every day. So in May, in the next couple of weeks, the invitation is to come back to the question, what is really important for you? What does really matter for you? What's important in your life? What's important in your mind, in your heart, in your soul, in yourself? What is it that you want to create, that you feel after this life or at the end of this life, yes, I've done this, this is what I wanted to do, or experience, or live, or be, or give, or share, or receive? And to come back to creating these experiences, manifesting what actually is important to you. And if you say, well, world peace is important to me, that's wonderful. But you cannot achieve world peace while you struggle, while you find yourself or move into struggle with the world and with whatever is unpeaceful out there. Because as soon as we do that, guess what? We're not at peace. We're entering a battle. We're entering a struggle. And so by coming back into what is important for me and saying peace is important for me, it has to start with our inner peace. We cannot expect something to manifest out there if it's not already in here. And peace is only one example. It could be joy, it could be connection, it could be love, it could be success, it could be anything you want, anything that is important to you. You cannot experience it or wanting the world to change into that direction if it's actually not already within you. And the desire for it is wonderful. But then we need to become really, really sensitive to, is this desire more focused on the lack of it? Or is this desire actually filled with it, with the actual energy? Let's say if we focus on peace, right? So the desire for peace, does it stem from looking at unpeace in the world and in the outside world and maybe inside of me? And I have this desire for peace, but I feel the opposite. Because we know if we feel the opposite, the lack of, that's what we create more of. So the responsibility that we have is to make sure our vibration is in alignment with whatever we want. In our own lives first. How much peace is there within you right now? Or joy, or love, or hope, or positivity, or inspiration? And how much is there in your environment, in your personal life, or in your work life? And then you can look and see the bigger waves, the bigger circles, the bigger environment, and see how much is there. But it has to start with looking within and seeing and acknowledging what is within us. And is what's within us the amount of peace, the amount of joy, the amount of freedom, the amount of self-empowerment, self-determination, the amount of love. Is this congruent with how I want to live, how I want to feel, who I am? And if it's not, if you say, ooh, I could have a lot more of those things within me, That's where we start. And that's where we start in May now, okay? If you have been maybe distracted by a lot of outside noise, the invitation is to come back and start creating again as the powerful, lightful being you are from within. You deserve everything you want. Every sparkle of joy or self-determination or freedom or love or connectedness. You deserve this. So turn inwards and say, okay, where could I actually have more of that? And build that up. Focus on that. What can I do today? Today, not just in my life as in, okay, I have whatever, 50 years. Today, how can I live more of that today? How can I create more of that today? And by doing that, you naturally increase your vibration, right? You become brighter, you become lighter, you become more of your essence. And by doing that, this will flow over into your relationships, into your life, into your experiences. Now, not if you just do it today, but if you do it today, and the next day, and the next day, and the next day. If we practice this more and more and more, it becomes our natural state of being, which is of a higher frequency then. And naturally, we will experience then more peace in our environment, in our family life, in our work life, in our circle. And that way, if you feel peaceful within you and then feel peaceful within your life, you will deal completely differently with whatever is going on the global scale, or in your country, or in your town. You will deal with it differently because you will deal with it from a place of inner peace and not from a place of I'm struggling and battling with whatever is out there. And a practical way of approaching the outside world and wanting to increase your inner peace is you make your inner peace, let's say, or your joy or your connectedness, whatever. I stay with the example of inner peace because I know that a lot of people are struggling with lack of inner peace right now. So you increase that inner peace by coming back to you, right? Noticing where there isn't peace within you and how this is triggered. Often it's triggered from news or from things outside. And instead of entering the struggle or battle with whatever causes the turmoil within you, you do the opposite. You do what peace does. Peace causes peace. If you interact with a person that is peaceful and they're not entering any battles or struggles or tug of wars or anything, you cannot battle with somebody who is peaceful. You just can't. So peace causes peace. So how do you then, if there is something causing turmoil within you, don't ignore it. Like, notice what you feel inside, because it tells you something. It tells you where you're at in your development, in your stage today. And then notice what it causes. But instead of judging, this is causing me to feel anxiety now and hopelessness and desperation and anger and all this kind of stuff. You notice that this is what it causes within you. And you notice that it causes all of these things within me because it's not in resonance with me. It makes me sad. It makes me hopeless, or it makes me, and you take this and say, but that is not my natural state of being. It's not the natural state of being of the world, because we're naturally drawn to joyfulness and so on, if we're on the lightful path, right? So then we go and we notice what's inside of us, and then we bless what is inside of us. We bless that we feel the discrepancy, that we don't feel, this is okay, that we feel that it causes so much turmoil inside of me. And we bless that because we notice through that who and what we are. And we're thankful and expressing thanks to the universe, to our higher selves, to whoever you feel connected to or whatever you feel connected to. Thank you for showing me that I am truly peace. And this is why I feel so strongly when I come in contact with unpeaceful situations. And then not only do you bless what's inside of you and yourself for noticing it, you also bless the situation that caused your realization. And I often come back to this practice of blessing. You bless it, meaning you send your understanding, your wisdom, your love, your peace, your positive intention onto that situation, onto those people involved, onto the issues. That's what you do. You bless that with your grace, with your mercy, with your benevolence. And by doing so, you become a conduit for that energy to flow onto that situation on earth. You become the vehicle, the vessel, where that type of energy can flow through. To that, we may never see any active change in our lifetime on those situations. But energetically, we are making a contribution, and not a negative one, in engaging in the fear, in the desperation, in the battle, in the negativity, in the fight, because that's nourishing what we don't want. But instead we do what we know. We do what we are. And that is going to make a difference. Energetically, everything is energy, we know this. And yeah, it may take a lot of energy, a lot of people to manifest certain things, big things, let's say, and shifts actively in the collective. But it is not true that we need the majority of people to create change. We know from quantum physics what we need is the critical mass. If something vibrates in harmony, we do not need the majority of this to vibrate in harmony for the rest to follow. We just need the critical mass, whatever that is. And that does not have to be the majority, because I know a lot of you are feeling hopeless because the majority of souls does not seem to even see or be interested in wanting to change anything for the better, or how they can contribute. It's okay if the majority is still not aware, but the critical mass of those who are aware that you belong to, otherwise you wouldn't watch a video like this. It matters how strongly you actually take this responsibility or this mission that you feel you want to do. You don't have to, you want to. And how seriously you take this, and how much dedication you give to that each day. And you deserve everything, like you deserve in your life to experience the bliss, the joy, the love, the connectedness, the peace, the abundance, everything. You deserve this. But it cannot happen if you don't focus on that. And by focusing on it and cultivating that within yourself and within your life, you're naturally going to allow this to flow over into the lives of people around you, into the atmosphere, into the universe, vibrationally. Let's do this. Let's focus again on what's important for us. And let's give ourselves the right and the permission to focus on what is important for us, because it will have an effect. We may, like I said, never be aware of the actual effect, because we may not see the change that we think miraculously should happen. But by us being who we are in the creative power, we do create change. But it always has to start with the change inside, with representing and embodying and being and living and vibrating what we want to experience then in the outside world. We have to experience it inside first. And that's what we can allow ourselves to do. I'm going to bless you, send you peace and love for today. And we'll talk again next time, if you want to.